Hello. So this video basically is for those that don't know how to go about their assignments or those that are finding it difficult to navigate through the softwares. So I'll be splitting it into two different videos. One will be on the extraction of the Landsat imagery, and the other one will be on the layer stacking and the unsupervised classification. So let's quickly go into the extraction of image. So as we can see from here on Google Earth Pro, this is my case study. That's Chikun local government in Kaduna. So that's what I'll be using for this. So for those that don't know how to extract their image, their satellite image, I make use of USGS Explorer. That's you can just search this. So you log in, you create an account basically before you log in. Then once you have done that, it takes you to this dashboard. So the first thing here you can see is the search criteria. We have search criteria, we have the data sets, we have additional criteria, and this is where you get the result of all everything you search for. So now for the search criteria, the best thing here is you can either make use of your geocoder. So the geocoder will just enable you to. So if I make use of use map here, it's going to map out all every of this window here. So you can just see that now. So everything you see that once I zoom out, it has taken just the four corners of this particular um, view width, basically. Then you can also make use of add coordinates where you can just enter longitude and latitude here. So because of you can either enter your longitude and latitude in either degree, minutes, second format, that's DMS format, or the decimal degree format. So any format you set here is what you'll be able to use in this add coordinate section. So just come here and set the type of format you want to make use of. And another way you can do import your maybe shape import the area that you need is through GeoJSON, KML or KMZ, and shapefile. So I know some of us or most of us might be making use of shapefile, so you can just come here. But one of the issues is, as you can see here, the files are limited to one record containing one polygon or line string with a maximum of 500 points. So if your shape file or your input data has more than 5 points, basically the polygon points that forms that particular boundary, it's not going to take it. So for instance now, this shape file that I'm making use of in this one has more than 500 points. So basically I cannot make use of shape file. I can't import it except maybe I'll now have to digitize again and ensure that it's not up to 500 points, but don't really have that time. So what you can just do here is to make use of the geocoder. But if you have less than 500 points, this is very good for you. So now I make use of the geocoder, and since I already said my area is within Kaduna, and I have like um, the boundary coordinate, the four corner boundary coordinate, basically that will help me make my mapping easy. So I can just come here and make use of add coordinates. So and just enter the coordinates I have. So any coordinate you enter here, you enter the latitude, enter the longitude, automatically you see the place mark. So let me just show you one for text example. Let's say I have 10.87829 and longitude I have 6.616 um 1 5. Let me just use this. So you see automatically to place it at that particular point. So you can just set all if you have the boundary coordinates of those points, you can just set it here. But for me, I think I'll just be making use of this use map since I know that it's within this area because it's something I've done already. So I'll just say use map. Let me just pick this here. So it will automatically pick this part for me. Then she asked us to do three she asked us to extract three satellite images with interval of 5 years. So now I know that some of you might not know, but Landsat imagery is limited. Some Landsat images are limited to when those particular satellites were launched. So for instance, you will not be making use of a Landsat its image option and you are looking for images that are as early as maybe 2012, 2011, because the most recent or the most latest data rather for Landsat 8 should be about from 2013. So the same for 2019. I don't really know the year, but 20 sorry, not 2019, Landsat 9. It's also like the most recent land satellite, and that one too has the year at which it was launched. So if you search for years before it was launched, you will not see data set for it. So let me just make an example. If I make use of Landsat 8, I have the span of from 2013 to now. So Landsat 4 to 5, those ones still have early data sets above 2013. But for the more you go up, the reasons for the changes in satellites basically is because of improvements. Basically, they improved on the old satellite, maybe in terms of correction, data cleaning. So that's the essence. So if you are making use of Landsat 4 to 5, you might have issues of too many cloud cover on your satellite imagery. But if you are using the most recent ones, it's basically has even improved algorithm to make the images better, not just only clear, to just make it, to just give it more, like it has more information. Let me just say it that way. It can also be in terms of pixel size. So maybe although Landsat is about 30 meters, so it's just has better and more accuracy than older ones. So I'll be making use of Landsat 8 here for this. So then you come under this date range. Since I already said last at it varies from 2013, I can just make use of for my 5 year interval. Basically, you need within the range of 15 years. So since we are doing for three images, so I'll make use of 2014, 2019, and 2024. So I can come here and start from 2014 and just say maybe from January 2014, from the first day of January to last day, that's in December of 2014. So last day here. So this will give me all images. So this is like just your query parameter to give me images between these dates. And at the same time, you can also try to get images within a month. So it can just be I just want images between 1st of January 2014 to 31st of January. So anything you set here is what you receive. Then cloud cover, basically cloud cover of 0 to 30% is good, but for this, I'll just state from 0% to um 20%. So cloud cover is just the cloud information. As the satellites are trying to take images of the Earth, there might be interference of the cloud. So um, some of the images might have cloud. So and that is not good for processing. That's not good for information you are trying to extract when there's cloud overlaying the Earth that you are trying to pre-process or process. So I just need, yeah, I need images that have 0 to 20% cloud cover. Then I think that's all for this. Then I'll just go to the next tab, which is the data set. So this is where I select the particular satellite image that I need. So I come here to Landsat Collection 2 Level 2. I don't really know the difference between this level 1, level 2, but you can make your research on that. I used to know it, but I can't remember what it is. So I select this Landsat 8 to 9 since I want Landsat 8 or Landsat 9 imagery. So there are still other types of imagery here. Once you open each tab, you see different types of images. But since I'm making use of Landsat, I select Landsat 8 to 9 here. So this is the only thing I want. Then are there any additional criteria? Not really necessary. Then I come to results here, and automatically you can see that it has generated. Um, so I think we have 12, a total of 12 pages. So the total number of images will just be that's 10. I think 10 times 12, that's 120. It was able to generate 120 images within this area. So there's something you now need to note. So some Landsat imagery has its own dimension. That's about 30 meters by 30 meters. So if your area spans beyond this, you might need to merge more than one image. But now, because of the particular location I'm using, the local government I'm using, a particular Landsat imagery is enough for me. So I don't need to merge um, more than one image. Although there are sometimes that if even if a Landsat imagery can cover your sample space, there are times that based on the part of the satellite, it might be half of the local government or half of the area that you want to take will be captured first, then the remaining half. So you still have to merge it. But me, I was able to get like a local government that one image based on the part of the satellite was able to capture the whole local government. So that's no issue. That was not an issue for me. So now you want to view. So let's say I imputed my shape file. Now just sit. Now I want to view if this particular satellite imagery covers this my area. So what I just come is this fits icon here. I click on it. So you see this is showing that particular fit icon is just the footprint to show you footprint. You see now this particular image is just going to cover this section of data. So I can just come here for those that have maybe one satellite image cannot cover their area. Just come here, click and you see this and that one. So with small overlap, we learned about the reason for this in photogrammetry. So let's say for instance, someone has a local government within this area now. That's in Kontagora in Niger State, and maybe yes, Kontagora in Niger State. So you can just download these two images, then on headers you merge them together. I'm not going to go through the process of merging in headers because my own particular case study area covers just within one. So this is 30 meters here, this 30 meters here. For those who don't know, sure. So this is not really what I need. So I can still come here. See, still, as long as a section of it covers is part of it, you still get information. So you might be looking at this particular satellite imagery is not even needed, but because of just this small area that enters it, that's why it was added, even if it is an overlap. So the reason why you might not even need it is because it's overlapping this yellow one. The yellow one still covers that area. So for you, those that might be using more than one satellite data, you might not need this particular last one now. So see now the next one comes here. So this is just test sample to show how the images are. So I'm coming. Okay. So now the image I basically need, and you can see the date this image was acquired. So 23rd of December. So what this does is just like I said earlier, we have 10 images per page, and we have a total of 12 pages. That's 120 images. So as you go from next page to next page, it goes down. You see, this was like the most recent for that year. That's the 30th day of December 2014. So as you keep going down, it reduces. That it gives you data from earlier dates. So even if I go to the next page here, I will now get images from dates that were earlier than 16th of December. So now the image I basically need for my area is this 23rd of December. So I can just put up this other footprint layers that are not needed. So I'm just using it to show an example. So now this no, not this one. Yes, this is what I need. So this particular thing you are seeing is just the footprint. So to view the satellite imagery, you click on this next one, which is show browse overlay. So when you click on it, it will load up the image. So I can put up this layer. So if you see, I don't want to put up this my boundary layer. So you just see this like a sample of the satellite data. As you zoom in, it loads that particular picture. So it's depending on the your network internet speed. This might not load faster for some people. It might even load a little bit faster than mine for some. So that you don't think that your image is not clear. it's actually clear. It's not just loading fast. So now you remember in class she talked about a particular line that when you download Landsat imagery, you see a line because of the gap between, like, the small space between where it captured the particular data and moved on. So that's that line. I think I saw it somewhere here now. Okay, it was somewhere here now. It's not showing it again. So, but it will be part of it. So now, once you have this image, now to download it, you just come to this download option here, click on it, then it will load the information for you. So we have the surface reflectance band and we have the surface temperature band. So surface reflectance band basically is what we need here in remote sensing. If you remember, we talked about absorption, reflection, and the last one I can't really remember now. So you just come here, you can decide to download all file, but if you download all file, it will download all the different bands and information together as one image. uh, and I think of recent, while trying to even download all files, I was having issues because it was not even downloading all files, it was just downloading one band. So what I did is to just select file, come here, you can deselect all. So you don't really need the QA pixel, QA ratsat, QA aerosol. So this particular QA information, they are just basically the quality assurance, talking about cloud information in the image, talking about maybe um just errors, things that were let me just say error information about the image. So what you need here is just this SR band, which are the surface reflectance band. So we have band 1, we have band 2, we have band 3, band 4, band 5, band 6. So I think band 4, 5, 6 are the based on whatever analysis you want to do, you select the type of band. But because of we want to do classification, you can just download all these bands. So one way I think it will be easier for you to do this is to download the bands one by one, so that you can do your layer stacking. Because if you select everything together, you kind of try to download it together as one image. But you need to also you remember she talked about layer stacking. So that's the reason layer stacking is also the same thing as band stacking. So you download each independent band. So I can just select band 1 here, then click on download all selected now. So this will redirect you to another page and download that band. Then when you are done, you come here, you download band 2. Then when you are done, go to download band 3, band 4, and up to band 7. So I'll show you a sample of the data set that I have that I've downloaded. So let me just downloads. Let me use for 2024. So these are the images. Okay. So you see, I have a total of 8 images here. So an additional band I just downloaded with mine is from the temperature band, but it's not really needed. It's not necessary. But if you want to download it, then there's no problem. So I just come to the surface temperature band here, select. So I'll just deselect all, and the last band I added to mine is this surface temperature band 10. So that's what I just added to my own that made it total of 8. So once you have done that, you have completed the task for generating your Landsat imagery. But don't forget that you still have to do this for 2 more years. So you come back to your search criteria here again, then you change your date range. So now from 2014, just move to 2019. Okay, you have to first change this one because you will not be able to go to um, older dates since there's a limit here. So then you can now come here to set 2019. Sorry, I didn't select this 2019. Then I'm still taking 31st of December. And then I can now come here and select 2019, 1st of January. So by the time you click on result, there's no need to update anything. Every other information is still um, available. So here again, you just use that to also check where the like where an image falls on your study area. So once you do that again, then you go to the last year, that's 2024, and do the same thing, download the same data. So one important thing I think I should make mention of is the reason why we are trying to download data from this 5 year interval is basically I feel she wants us to like try to identify the changes that have occurred. So it's just basically a land change detection. We want to see what has happened over the years. Like maybe there were more vegetation now due to a result of urban, should I say, urban development, more buildings, more settlements have been created over time. Maybe there was a particular water body that has now been cut at a point, or it's no, or it has been slimmed down. Like maybe in Lagos State, for those that might be doing Lagos State, so many areas that have been sand filled. So you'll be able to see those change detection. So it's important. I think one thing I'll just state here is you try to download satellite images for these three consecutive interval of 5 years. You download images within the same month so that you can basically see the changes that happened within that same month, so that you don't have something in December here and you're checking, although it will still work, it's still basically the same because 5 years is actually very large. But just try to see now 2019 we are still getting data for December. So it's I can just download the information of December. I don't need to get earlier data set again. So that's it. So every of these 10 images that get loaded first year is basically an image that is likely to cover all your area, like all your sample space, because local governments are not really that too big. So you should be able to use those 10 information to cover your area. I think the biggest local governments are basically in the north. And if you are doing the north, that's where you might be having to join images. But if you are doing places like the south part, southwest, they don't really have large local government area. So a particular satellite imagery, you might be fortunate to just see a satellite image that will just cover your area. And at the same time, too, even if you are doing for the north, you might still be fortunate to see um, a satellite imagery that will cover the area. So I think that's all for image extraction. Thank you very much.